Let us see more details in the IoC. What is IoC? Inversion of control. So I have two example, that is Spring with IoC using setter and Spring with IoC using getter method. But before understanding these examples, let us understand what is dependency injection and what is IoC. So both are same. If we talk about IoC, or we say inversion of control, or we say dependency injection, it is all similar terms. Now so let us understand dependency injection or IoC. What are the different type of IoC? What are the benefit of IoC? And what are the injection state we are having? Okay, IoC, or we call dependency injection. So the basic concept of the inversion of control pattern, also known as dependency injection, is that you do not create your objects, but you describe how they should be created. Okay, so little it is different way to get object. Okay, we are not creating, we are just describing how to get this object, right? So you don't directly connect your components and services together in code, but describe which services are needed by which component in a configuration file. Very interesting, right? So we are not writing hard code or hard coupling. Okay, so it's very decoupled, and I can say loose coupling that gives us easy maintainability, right? And reusability, the highest reusability is there. A container is then responsible for looking it, or I can say hooking it all up, right? Applying IoC objects are given their dependency at creation time by some external entities that coordinates each object in the system. That is, dependencies are injected into objects. So IoC means an inversion of responsibility with regard to how an object obtains reference to collaborating objects, right? So it's very interesting topic in a Spring, and that is the core or base of Spring framework. What are the different type of IoC or dependency injections? So these are basically three type: constructor injection, setter injection, and method injection. Okay, so constructor injection, dependencies are provided as constructor parameter. So as per the constructor parameter, we can get the object. Through constructor injection, object will get invoked or injected. This is supported by the Pico container or a Spring container. Okay, Spring core container. Setter injection, dependencies are assigned through Java beans properties. Setter method we are having, right? So through setter method we are specifying all the properties, and the object is getting injected through the setter method. That is again provided or support with Spring. Another, that is third one, is the method injection, which is not supported by the Spring. It is supported by the Avalon framework. So Spring supports only constructor and setter injection. Okay. What are the benefits of IoC? As I said, minimizes the amount of code in your application. With IoC contains or container, you do not care about how services are created and how you get references to ones you need. You can also easily add additional services by adding a new constructor or setter method with a little or no extra configuration, right? So make your application more testable by not requiring any singleton or JNDI lookup mechanism in your unit test cases. IoC container make unit testing and switching implementation very easily uh, by manually allowing you to inject your own objects into the object under test, right? So loose coupling is promoted with minimal effort and least intrusion mechanism. The factory design pattern is more intrusive because components or services need to be requested explicitly, where as in IoC the dependency is injected into requesting piece of code. Okay. Also some container promote the design to interface, not implementation design concept, right? So IoC containers support eager instantiation and lazy loading of services, right? So if they need services, they will load it, right? Containers also provide support for instantiation or manage object, cyclical dependencies, right? Life cycle management and dependencies resolution between managed objects. These all are supported by the IoC container. So the state of object in injected in two ways, by using setter method or by using constructor, right? So this is the injection state in Spring. Through setter method, framework will update the attributes values from the XML file. This is called setter injection. And constructor injection is what? Setting the value or injecting a state of an object through the parameterized constructor is called constructor injection, right? I'll show you the code. It's very easy and very clean. So develop one POSO class along with one parameterized constructor. Parameters would be attribute types of that class. So whatever the parameters we are passing to the uh, constructor, that should match with your property of the bin. Okay, so let us understand now the examples. Okay, so Spring with IoC. So Spring with IoC using setter injection and Spring with IoC using constructor injections. So these two agenda we have to cover right now. So Spring with IoC using setter injection. First we'll see the setter injection. Now what we have to do, we have to create a new project and we'll go to the myclips ID and then say here right click new project, and if you're saying new project, give a name of the project. I said Spring with IoC. Okay, and then say here next. Once you are saying next, now select the Spring version what you are looking for. Spring 2 here, you can select this 2 and then again say next here. Okay, just a moment. What I said here, first we have to make a project. So I just made a project here, right? So in the previous step, and then we have to do add capabilities. I'll just say right click and then say my clips and add Spring capabilities, and we'll select this one, right? So and then say next, like previous step that we have done. Now create three class, name, address, person and manager. So we'll create three class in that. One is address. Address is having three property. So properties like house number and the street name and city. These are the three properties we are having, and these are the getter setter method for the property, right? Now there's a one person class here. In the person class you can see what are the properties we are having. I just added lot of properties in this so that I can explain maximum attributes in the application context.xml. If it is a string type, I mean first name, age, date, email, marks, education, levels, job, permanent address and mobile number. These are the property we are having, right? And all this property, if you notice here, all it is a different type. First is the string, second is the int, third is the double, fourth is the string array, and fifth is the integer array, right? Sixth is the array list, seventh is a hash set, and then hash map, and this is the address type. So there's another, just now we created address class having a property like street name and house number and all. There's a property class in the util package, if you remember, right? So we are using some of the these four we are using from the collection framework, right? So we have almost mentioned the every type here, and we have just generated the getter and setter method for all this property. Okay. Now, in manager class, what we'll write here? We have a main method. Same job we are doing here. Bin factory. So bin equal to new XML bin factory. Inside that we are passing new class path resource, and this is my XML file, right? And what we are doing here, person p equal to beans dot get bin obj. So we'll do one mapping in a, we'll describe person object in application context.xml, and we'll give id obj. So obj will be the id of the person bean. Now what we are doing here, we are writing p dot get first name, get age, get weight, right? And then arrays dot to string p dot get email. So we are getting all the emails and converting to a string and printing here. Get marks, getting all the marks and getting as an array, and a string printing here. Get education, get levels, job, right? Get a street name. Get a street name is from the address class. So first we are calling get permanent address dot get a street name, get permanent address dot get house number, right? And similarly get city, and then finally get mobile number. So this is the getter methods which I am calling in my main method in the manager class. Now next part is what we have to do, the mapping in the application context.xml. This is the code for the application context.xml file, right? So you can see here I have a bean, I have a bean here. So one bean is there, and the name is what? Address, right? And then we are saying here address class. So street name, house number, and city. So it is a Balaji complex and 14, and then Bangalore, right? Now if we talk about the another bean, that is the person bean we are having, right? What we are doing here, bean id obj, look at here, the same obj we are mentioning in the manager class, and we are looking for the bean object of person type. So first name we are saying Tom, second age 20, weight is 85, email. So email was, I think it is an array list. So we are having property email, and we are saying list open, and then we are saying first email, second, third email. So it is having too many values, right? Similarly, we are having another property that is a marks. We are having 3 marks in the list. Okay. Now another property, we have to mention all the property name. So property name education. Education is again having the list of values. So we are putting a list, and then we are saying value, 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 right? Property name levels. So I have a Java, Spring, and Evon or something like that. So another property, I have a job. So job 1, job 2, job 3. So this is a map, hash map, if you remember. I was having hash map jobs. So this is a key and value. Key and value we are having, we are maintaining. Next is the permanent address. Permanent address was the address type, if you remember. So here we are passing reference at, right? In the previous, we have made one address bean, and that address bean is having id what? Add. look at here. Here the ID is add here, right? So this address I am mentioning here, I am saying reference equal to add. So it will take the whole reference of that address now, and mobile number is again I have a property. So prop key and value. So this is my first number, second number, this is my key, and this is my value, right? So whole declaration of different types I have done in the application context.xml. Now what we'll do here, we'll just say right click and run the program. So if you're running this code, you will get the output. Say here the name is coming, right, and the age is coming also. So we are getting age and weight, and see all the email address are displaying here, all the marks are displaying, all the qualification levels, and the remember that jobs like job 1 developer, job 2 senior developer, right? And the address is displaying here Bangalore and all everything, and mobile number, it is your first number and second number, right? So you can see this, we have injected this object by calling the setter method, right? We are getting the value from where? From the setter method only, right? This property we have set here, so we have given the name value, so all the setter method of this property will get invoked and will get the value. So once I say getter method, I'm getting the retrieving the values of that, right? Next we have to see the Spring with IoC using constructor injection. So in the constructor injection, look it now. So copy the previous project and give name Spring with IoC using constructor. So I'll have a same everything. There's not much difference between this project and the previous one. So what we'll do here, we'll copy everything here. Our whole project we can copy. So address you can see, manager, person, application context, everything is there. Just change the name of the project, okay? And we'll go to the application context now. Uh, and the person will just little do modification with the person here. So what we are doing here, in the previous example, person was having getter setter method, right? And it was not having constructor for that. You can have a getter setter method, but you have to add one constructor in the person class, right? In the person class, what we are doing, we are passing the arguments. Remember, whatever the properties we are having, that property we are taking as an argument in the person constructor, and initializing the properties through these values whatever we are having in this argument, right? So this dot marks equal to marks, this dot job equal to jobs, right? This dot mobile number equal to mobile numbers. So we have to add this constructor in the person class, and then now how we'll do the mapping in the, I mean how we'll describe application context.xml file. So you can see this here, there's a little differences here we are having. So this is normal like bean which we are having earlier. There's no changes with the first address bean. Second bean is my person bean, where we are saying that constructor arg. See this first constructor arg index is 0. So first constructor is what here? Name. So I'm passing Tom here. Second constructor 1, 2. So all the constructor index we are taking here. So if you can see this, first argument is my name, second is age, third is date, fourth is email, like that. So here we are mentioning that first constructor argument Tom will go, second constructor argument, that is the index 1. So we have indexed the argument of the constructor, and we are passing, let us say, value equal to 20. This is my weight, and this is what email address. So it was the fourth argument, right? Email was my fourth argument. You can look here 0, 1, 2, 3. So fourth argument, I mean index is 3 here. Similarly, we are passing index 4, the marks we are passing here. So this is my int marks, which is the fifth argument here, and index is 4. Similarly, we have to do all the values for all the index. So fifth index having a qualification, right? Okay. Sixth index having lovers. Seventh index having like jobs, right? And eighth index was address. So we are passing the reference. Ninth index was the mobile number. So we are having mobile number. See, all this value we are passing to the constructor. In turn, constructor will invoke the this value will go to the constructor, and through constructor that will get initialized, right? Previously we are passing to the setter method, and through setter the properties we are getting initialized. Now this time we have done in the constructor arg we have used. So two changes we have done. One, we have made constructor in the person class, right? And we have set properties as an argument, same properties, right? We're initializing that. And second changes we have done in the application context.xml, where we are not using property, we are using constructor -arg tag, which is helping me to initialize the constructor values, right? So you can see the output. Once you run the code, you will get this output. So everything is coming here. So this object has been injected by passing, or I can say by injecting constructor, right? So this is what constructor injection. So that's all about the IoC inversion of control, or dependency injections through setter method or through constructor. Thank you.